Bethenny Frankel has one of the most profitable influencer business models I have ever come across or seen. So let's dive into 6 reasons why her business model is so effective. 1, she's honest no matter what, meaning she goes for trust over reach. Does Bethenny Frankel have the biggest following on the planet? No. Does she have the biggest reach on the planet? Is she a Kardashian? No. But what she has done is optimize for a group of people who take her bluntness. She's unapologetically blunt and always has been. And if you know her from The Real Housewives, you know that that's something that she's known for, is being blunt and honest and upfront. And she chooses to be honest no matter what, meaning that if you send her a product and she doesn't like it, she's not afraid to say that. Even if you paid her to review the product, she's going to be an honest review. And so she says that she sees it as a good thing, because then the brand gets feedback for their product and how to make it better, which she's not wrong. And then also, so it gives them the opportunity to get better product market fit and to improve. But then also she keeps her most important asset being trust between her and the people who follow her, so that when she approves something and she says something's good, they believe it and they're willing to try it because she stays honest no matter what. 2, non-exclusivity. So typically, or normally, when people work with brands, they'll say, working with us, you can't work with another brand in a competing category. For instance, if you work with one sort of clothing brand that does hats, they're not going to let you work with another hat company or promote hats with someone else. She says, I work with everyone. I review everything with everyone. I'm not going to agree to non-exclusivity. This allows people and brands of all different types to come into her business or to send product to her to review, and her not be restricted in any way by getting paid to do what she's built her business around, which is influencing. Remember, I feel like influencer, the word gets thrown around a lot, but really an influencer is supposed to influence people to make purchases. Oftentimes those purchases are of other brands' products or other brands' services or things, but the whole business of an influencer is to generate sales for other people's businesses. And that's what she's built her business around, generating sales for other people. 3, her content is built on reviews. So I'm someone who followed Bethenny because I grew up watching The Real Housewives of New York. And a lot of her content was really just doing reviews of like food stuff. And so she would go to like random grocery stores in the Hamptons, or she'd go to Aeron, or she'd go to like restaurants in New York City or in Miami now, because I think she's down in Florida. And she would review these foods and she'd be like, oh, this thing is incredible. This is divun, which is her word for delicious and incredible. And so once people see that her recommendation is like, oh, this food is really good, and she already comes up with her own recipes and how to be good and how to make delicious food or whatever, people try it, right? So that she's bringing business to these restaurants or to these businesses, which often have a hard time because food is really a commodity. You can get food anywhere and everywhere, including cooking yourself at home. She built her brand, her social media built on reviews. And I think that's a huge part of what makes her an influencer, because her whole point of content is to influence people. Does she do like cute stuff and her hot takes on different things happening in society and the world and celebrity news? Yes, she does. But what makes her influence people is the fact that she does reviews. So if you're someone who wants to copy her method, create a business that's similar to her, you need to do reviews of products. And then that's why people will send you products for you to review. This was the same thing I noticed about Jeffree Star back in the day, who is one of the, the popular makeup artists on YouTube during that heyday when makeup artists on YouTube were like the biggest thing in the world. And he did reviews of products, and it was always, is it Jeffree Star approved? And if it wasn't approved, people wouldn't buy it. But if it was approved, people would rush out and buy it and try it. And that's the whole point of an influencer. This is what influencers were meant to be doing. And so Bethenny is doing that in her own way and in the modern day, right? She does it on TikTok. She gets a lot of views on her content. And that's where she has the most influence, because her content that she makes is based on, you guessed it, reviews. Next, she gives value for free to the brands. What this means is a lot of brands will send her things for her to try, her to review, and if she likes it, she'll post it. She doesn't like it, she'll post it, whatever. But she's not charging them up front for that. What she does is she'll try it, she likes it, she'll post about it, and then that brand is going to see a huge uptick in her influence because of her influence of her audience and everyone and all the content people going out to try it. And she says that if you want this to continue, if you want to, you got a free taste. Now, if you want the whole shebang, and for me to really make this my baby and take it across the finish line and have me get excited about this and really continue to promote you, then we need to negotiate. You need to pay me, or number 6, she negotiates for equity or ownership. So depending on the type of brand, obviously she's not going to get ownership of Estee Lauder or any of Estee Lauder's brands. But like a small brand who, I don't know, makes sunglasses on their own or handmade, I don't know, a cookie business, like she'll negotiate for ownership of that. And she lets them operate, and she'll handle like the marketing and making sure that there's more sales coming in through the door. And the reason why she does that is because she knows that she's gonna have ownership of it, and so she gets lots and lots of money. If they're a bigger brand with a bigger budget and they're not willing to give her equity, then she'll charge like, $1 million if she's gonna generate more than $1 million worth of sales. So, she works with brands of all different types, and so there's different structures of how she's gonna negotiate the deals. But I'm just saying, she understands that the real money and the real wealth building is in ownership. So negotiating for equity. If you have the influence in order to generate that level of sales like she does, we can do the same. And then last but not least, and I think this is important as entrepreneurs, she keeps her business lean. I think there's like 5 people on her team total, at least for this part of this influencer business, and she optimizes for freedom. Meaning like she's not filming every day, she only films when she already has makeup on and full glam on, and other things where her life, because she's a woman in her 50s at this point, she's made so much money, and this business alone makes over $20 million this year, and I'm sure it's just going to keep going up and up and up. She's not trying to lock herself down and start some business from scratch and go and get factories and merchandise and find ways for shipping. Like, she's not doing all that. She wants her life to be free, easy, let her do the things she enjoys, go date. She always loves to date. And so she's optimized her life for freedom, and I think that that's what makes her business so effective, is because she keeps it lean, and she knows that any old person who wants to just make a lot of money can go to law school, but then lawyers work tons of hours and they realize like that's not the life they want, right? She can go and start some billion-dollar business and start Skims and reach out to whatever, but she doesn't want to do that. She wants to keep her business lean, mean, and highly profitable and effective. And I've modeled my business the same way. Do I influence? No, I sell my knowledge online, but my business also is completely lean on purpose. So I've taken a lot of inspiration from her from that, and you could check out Dimi Lowe Courses if you want to learn how to make your own lean, mean, completely passive income, selling your knowledge online, just letting everything compound and build value at all times. It has changed my life, and I'm sure it can change yours for a simple subscription. So that's all with this video. I think that you see what makes her so successful. And so just take some of these tactics and apply it to your own business. Other than that, I will catch you guys on the next video.